Welcome to the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I am Jerry Opelor.
And I am Kayla Abraham, and here are the headlines. Protesters lay siege to Villa and National Assembly over Sanusi's reinstatement.
Court orders interim forfeiture of 803 million naira, $4.7 million properties linked to Emefiele.
Fulbara sues for peace amidst possible calls for anarchy by opposition.
Minister donates ahead, announces scholarships.
In business, AFDB announces $1.44 billion investment for Nigeria.
And sport, Finidi unveils Super Eagles squad for South Africa Benin Republic games.
Now the news in details. We begin the news with the Governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, today, saying he reinstated Lamido Sanusi as Emir of Kano State, despite being restrained by a court because the judge who issued the order was in America and not physically present in Nigeria to issue it. The governor said he would report the judge to the Nigeria Governors Forum for alleged abuse of court orders. He spoke while presenting a reinstatement letter to Sanusi. Before the presentation of the reinstatement letter to Sanusi, a judge of the Federal High Court in Kano yesterday restrained the governor and the state government from implementing the new emirate law under which Sanusi was reinstated. The law, passed yesterday also by the State House of Assembly and assented to immediately by Governor Yusuf, dissolved the 4 emirates carved out of the Kano Emirate in 2019 and removed the emirs. But in a same-day ruling yesterday, Justice Liman ordered the state government and the other parties involved to stop the implementation of the law pending the hearing of the substantive case. The governor promised to present the issue of abuse of court orders by the judge before the Governors Forum to be tackled accordingly.
Meanwhile, protesters marched to Aso Rock Presidential Villa and the National Assembly, expressing outrage over the reinstatement of Mohammed Sanusi II as the 16th Emir of Kano. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf signed the new Kano Emirate Council law yesterday, repealing the legislation that established 4 additional emirates in the ancient city under the administration of then-Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. Despite a federal high court order in Kano instructing the state government not to enforce the new law, Mohammed Sanusi II, former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, has been banned as the 16th Emir of Kano. During today's protest, Abdullahi Saleh, leader of the Northern Nigerian Peace and Development Foundation, spoke with reporters accusing the governor of attempting to dismantle the legacy of his predecessor. Saleh asked President Bola Tinubu to swiftly intervene to prevent the state from descending into anarchy.
Still on the reinstatement, Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, has commended Governor Abba Yusuf and members of the House of Assembly over his reinstatement and for saving the history of Kano State and Nigeria at large. VOP TV News reports that Sanusi, while speaking shortly after receiving his reinstatement letter from Governor Yusuf at the Africa House, Kano's government house today, said his reinstatement is a testament that no man can take what God has given. According to Sanusi, God has preordained time and cause for everything and everyone, adding he gives leadership to whosoever he wants.
A federal high court sitting in Lagos has granted an order of interim forfeiture of $4.7 million and 803.8 million naira and other assets linked to the embattled former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had filed an application before the court for the interim forfeitures as the property was suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities. The presiding judge, Justice Yelim Bogoro, granted the EFCC's request on the forfeiture. Thereafter, the suit was adjourned to July 2, 2024 for the application for final forfeiture. The funds that have been forfeited in interim to the federal government were alleged to be domiciled in banks being operated by Omolie Anitojoy, Deep Blue Energy Service Limited, Exact Code Bureau de Change Limited, Limpam Investment Services Limited, Tatler Services Limited, Resagil Global Resources Limited, and TIL Communication Nigeria Limited. Properties all around Highbrow areas of Lagos were also ordered to be forfeited. Emefiele is currently facing multiple trials at both Abuja and Lagos court for over alleged abuse of office, unauthorized printing of the Naira notes, and procurement fraud.
The Lagos State government has disclosed today that it paid over 16 billion naira to 5,886 retirees as pension in the last 1 year. The Commissioner for Establishment and Training, Afolabi Ayontayo, said that this at a ministerial news conference in Alausai, Ikeja. Ayontayo said the money was paid to the retirees through the Lagos State Pension Commission (LASPEC) under the Contributory Pension Scheme (CPS). He disclosed that since May 2019, over $63 billion naira has been paid to 19,814 retirees across various sectors like the mainstream service, local government, and parastatals. He added that the governor had made significant progress in tackling backlogs, as from February last year to April this year, his administration paid over 16 billion naira to 5,886 retirees. According to him, all the funds were approved as part of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's promise to systematically eliminate the backlogs.
Former Vice-Chancellor at the University of Ibadan Emeritus, Professor Ayo Banjo, died this morning. VOPTV gathered this from a source in the university who confirmed his death. The excellent academic celebrated his 90th birthday on May 2nd. He was Pro-Chancellor of the Universities of Port Harcourt, Ilorin, and Ajayi Crowther University, and renowned for his contributions to the development of the English language curriculum in Nigeria and the promotion of Nigerian varieties of English. Banjo was also the former chairman of the Board of National Universities Commission, and his scholarly contributions include over 50 publications and widely used textbooks in primary and secondary education.
Governor Seyi Makinde swore in the newly elected chairman and vice chairman for the 33 local government areas of Oyo State today. This is a ceremony which held at the House of Chiefs Parliament Building Secretariat Ibadan. The Chief Judge of the state, Justice Iyabo Yerima, administered the oath of office to the newly elected council bosses. Speaking at the ceremony, Governor Makinde, who was represented by his deputy Bayo Lawal, charged the new council boss to replicate the vision of his administration at their various local government areas. He tasked them to focus on people-oriented programs and policies aiming towards the betterment of the lives of the people. Makinde, who affirmed that the electoral processes that led to the emergence of their chairman were credible, free, and fair, therefore urged them to firmly uphold democratic values and the rule of law in their various councils, such that their tenures would be marked by unprecedented grassroots development.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has said that his administration and supporters will not waste their energy fighting with their critics. He said this today at the official launch of the Okania-Ogbogoro Road project in Obio, Akpo local government area. According to him, they would rather work to set a higher standard of leadership and a new bar to improve the quality of life and socio-economic status of Rivers people. Fubara said his detractors were making determined overtures to distract his administration from achieving set goals with unproductive fights, but vowed that he would not waste his energy fighting back. Rather, he would continue to channel every energy into delivering good governance, implementing people-centric policies, executing sustainable impact projects, and ensuring that dividends of democracy were constantly delivered to the people. The governor further stated that the Okania-Ogbogoro Road project would not end at the stage of kickoff, but would be completed and inaugurated in the next 5 months.
Meanwhile, the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has urged his supporters to maintain peace and refrain from responding to intimidation within and without the state. This appeal comes in light of the threats made by certain council chairmen to prolong their stay in office either peacefully or by force beyond June 16. These threats arose following a controversial amendment to the local government law by the Martin Amawule-led assembly, which extended their tenure by 6 months. However, a High Court in Port Harcourt has nullified this law, as requested by 2 council chairmen who support Governor Fubara. In response to the potential cause for chaos, Governor Fubara denounced them as a diversionary tactic and assured that he would remain focused on enhancing governance in the state. Fubara, who spoke during the inauguration of the reconstruction of the Okania-Ogbogoro Road, stressed that the more he elevates the standards of governance, the weaker his critics will become, drawing a parallel with the strategy employed by eagles when attacked by crows. Furthermore, in addition to the 5-kilometer road project, the governor has consented to renovating Ogbogoro Secondary School, establishing a healthcare facility, and contemplating the construction of internal roads within the community. Governor Fubara also approved the King of Akwa Kingdom's plea to construct a top-notch palace for the kingdom. The king holds the esteemed position of a first-class traditional ruler.
Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State met for the first time, with the leaders of the Okwama Ewo Community Ugele South local government area at the government house at Samba today. The meeting was to sort out why the people refused to come to the internally displaced persons IDP camp in Ewo, among other issues. The governor promised to start the rebuilding the community with a health center and 6 classroom blocks in the next few weeks. He also said the state government would commence the boundary adjustment between Okwama and Okoloba immediately. Oborevwori also revealed that the state does not know the number of those affected by the Okwama crisis following the killing of 4 military officers and 13 soldiers, and therefore could not profile them. He went on to plead with those displaced by the crisis to relocate to the IDP camp at Ewo, Delta State, as relocating to the camp would help to provide those affected, attend to their health needs and other social services. He added that no effort would be spared in championing peace and development in the community and charged indigents of the town to uphold the ideals that would positively impact their ancestral homes.
The main opposition, All Progressives Congress APC in Edo State, the governing People's Democratic Party PDP, and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC are tangled in a dispute over alleged plots to manipulate the continuous voter registration CVR and compromise INEC officials ahead of the September 21, 2024 governorship elections. Edo APC, through its publicity secretary Peter Wade Ibinigye, a lawyer, alleged at a news conference in Benin that the CVR conducted by INEC between May 28 and June 5 was comprised by top officials of the Electoral Commission to favor PDP's governorship candidate Aswa Ighodalo. APC further demanded the immediate deployment of INEC's head of ICT in Edo State, accusing the official of collaborating with a female staff member of INEC in Bayelsa State, who is married to a PDP chieftain in Edo State. The APC claims that this rigging plot is being financed by Governor Godwin Obaseki of the PDP. Edo APC also expressed optimism that his standard-bearer, Senator Monday Okpebolo, and his running mate, Dennis Idahosa, would emerge victorious at the crucial poll. Edo Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nekikare, however, described the state's leaders of APC as confused and disgruntled people without anything to offer.
The Imo State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal has affirmed the election of Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressive Congress APC as Imo Governor today. The tribunal, which gave its ruling in Abuja, also dismissed the petition of the Labour Party and its governorship candidate, Atan Achono. In an unanimous judgment delivered by Justice Oluyemi Akiton Osadebe, the 3-man panel of the tribunal held that Uzodinma's election as Imo State Governor complied substantially with the provisions of the Electoral Act. The tribunal further held that the Labour Party and its petition failed to prove the allegation of overvoting and non-compliance to the Electoral Act. You are still watching the 9 p.m. news on the VOP TV. More stories after the break.
Welcome back. The House of Representatives has passed a bill to reintroduce the old national anthem Nigeria We Hail Thee and replace the current one, Arise O Compatriot. The proposed legislation, sponsored by the Majority Leader Honorable Julius Iwonvebre, stipulates that the national anthem must be sung during key events, including the opening and closing ceremonies of the Federal Executive Council and State Executive Council meetings, as well as during the commencement and conclusion of legislative sessions in Nigeria and constitutional oath swearing ceremonies. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswade tells us more in this report.
Anthem to Nigeria We Hail Thee, which was the country's anthem before 1978, rather than the present Arise O Compatriot. The bill, titled Bill for an Act to Provide for the National Anthem of Nigeria and for matters related thereto, passed through first, second, and third reading within minutes on Thursday, May 23, 2024. The new bill stipulates that Nigeria We Hail Thee will be reinstated as the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It emphasizes the anthem as a national symbol and sign of authority, calling on all citizens and entities to respect and preserve its dignity. The anthem is to be performed at various official events, including Federal Executive Council meetings, State Executive Council meetings, legislative sessions, and constitutional oath-taking ceremonies. Leading the debate, House Leader Professor Julius Iwonvebre highlighted the need for a national anthem that serves as a unifying symbol reflecting the nation's realities.
It is a bill that's one that will pull us together, that will give us hope and courage, a sense of duty to the nation.
However, opposition came from Majority Leader Kingsley Chinda, who argued that the old national anthem has colonial ties, having been authored and composed by Britons, which led to its replacement in 1978.
Is this very important at this particular juncture in our national life? What value would it add to us as a nation?
He questioned the relevance of this change amidst the nation's pressing challenges. Despite the opposition, the bill was expedited and passed by the House and has now moved to the Senate, where it has already cleared the first and second readings. It has been referred to the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, which is expected to report back in 2 weeks. However, many Nigerians on the social media question the relevance of the move, wondering if it would help salvage the nation's economy, being Nigeria's biggest challenge at the moment. VOP TV was in the streets of Lagos to hear people's thoughts on the proposed change.
The current situation of the economy is what the National Assembly should focus on, where you have people enjoying the dividend of democracy. Look at what the exchange rate is at the moment. Look at what the economy is saying. A couple of youths are running abroad day in, day out. I think they should focus more on empowerment, agriculture, and all sectors that will grow the economy.
The new one currently actually works very fine. It has basics, and that was what I grew up with. I grew up with the new one, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like there's so many other things that we can focus on as a country, as a nation. We can focus on healthcare, we can focus on agriculture, we can focus on education. There are so many other things that we can focus on, and I don't know, the national anthem, changing it back to the old one. I guess there was a reason why it was changed in the first place. And since the new one is working fine, like why do we need to change it? So let's just focus on other things.
Is that Nigeria problem? Look at now, I went to go and eat food. 1,000 naira cannot even believe me. Now we have border problem lying. We have many problems in this country. No food, no nothing. Nothing is moving. We are talking of our national anthem. What are we going to benefit the national anthem?
With the current situation of the country, I don't think that's the next thing for them to do, because there are so many things to focus on aside. That should be the list of their problems. So I don't think it makes sense.
While lawmakers are pushing for this symbolic change, many Nigerians remain skeptical about its impact on Nigeria's most daunting challenges. Stay tuned with VOP TV as we give you more updates as the bill progresses through the Senate. Matthew Ogunswada for Voice of the People TV.
So much for placing a priority on the change of the national anthem. Over to more news. The Ibadan zone of the Academic Staff Union of the Universities, ASU, today called on the federal government to adhere strictly to the Third Fund Establishment Act and ensure proper funding of public universities. This is following the alarm raised by the union on what it described as the terrible state of public universities in the country, urging the government to take urgent action to prevent a looming disaster. Speaking at the press conference in Ibadan, the ASU Zonal Coordinator, Professor Oyebamiji Oyegoke, warned that if the demands of the union are not met, the country's education system could face a devastating setback. He raised specific instances of unjust sackings, withholding of salaries, and victimization of members, calling for immediate reversal and adequate compensation for those affected. The Ibadan zone of ASU expressed serious concerns over the ongoing hardships faced by its members across several public universities, including Kogi State University, Ebonyi State University, Lagos State University, and Abrusali University. The union further stated its resolve to weather the storm until its demands are met, emphasizing its unwavering commitment to standing against tyranny and injustice. It went on to appeal to well-meaning Nigerians, opinion leaders, traditional and religious leaders, media, labor movements, student groups, and civil society organizations to join hands in putting pressure on the federal and state governments to address the union's demands, which are aimed at rescuing the education sector from further decline.
Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU Kano Zone has urged the federal government to address outstanding issues in their agreements to ensure industrial harmony in Nigeria. Zonal Coordinator Abdul Kadir Mohammed highlighted unresolved matters such as the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement, funding for the revitalization of public universities, and respect for university autonomy during a news briefing in Kano State. Mohammed emphasized the need for the government to sign the draft renegotiated agreement, release funds for salary arrears, earned academic allowances, and withheld salaries, and to respect university autonomy. He also called on the Kano State government to reinstate the dissolved governing councils of state-owned universities and urged the government to exempt tertiary institutions from the IPIS platform following a presidential directive. Additionally, ASU expressed concern over recurring insecurity, poverty, unemployment, and the rising cost of living, urging a review of the NUC Act to prevent the proliferation of underfunded universities.
The first phase of the student loan scheme begins today, with the beneficiaries being students from federal institutions across the country. In addition, the Nigerian Education Fund, NEL Fund, has provided a step-by-step approach to applying for the student loan scheme. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada tells us more in this report.
Enhance access to higher education. The Nigeria Education Loan Fund has officially launched the Student Loan Portal today, marking the commencement of a pivotal phase in the nation's education financing scheme. Ahead of today's formal opening, NEL Fund, the Nigeria Education Loan Fund announced that the initial rollout will focus on students enrolled in federal tertiary institutions, while the second phase will extend to students in state-owned institutions. This comes with a crucial condition, which states that only students from institutions that have uploaded their data on NELFund's dashboard will be eligible to apply. Speaking at a pre-application sensitization press conference in Abuja on Monday, Akintunde Sawyer, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the fund, highlighted that approximately 1.2 million students from federal government-owned universities, polytechnics, colleges of education, and technical colleges are expected to benefit from this first phase. The scheme, which was originally set to commence in October 2023, following President Bola Tinubu's enactment of the student loan policy in June 2023, faced multiple delays. However, the policy was reenacted in April 2024, leading to the portal's opening today. The loan application process, as outlined by NELFund, begins with students visiting the website www.nelf.gov.ng and following a step-by-step guide, as further explained by Nasir Ayitogo, the Media and Public Relations Lead for NELFund. VOP TV spoke with several students about their reaction to the new loan scheme. Here is what they have to say.
Student loan is good, considering the economic situation and challenges. When a student need, like now, if I need money now and I know I can just go to you guys for loan at the end, it's good.
It's a very good idea because everything is hard in Nigeria, everything is hard in this country. Some students just finish paying the remaining part of their school fees this semester so that they could register their courses. You know, Nigeria, like, things are hard and the salary increment, like, is not increasing. Our salaries are not increasing, but prices of things are increasing. Apart from being in school, apart from paying school fees, we also have to take care of ourselves. We also have to look good and all. So this student loan scheme is just simply helping us in the sense that at least it reduces our burdens.
I don't think it's a good idea personally, because I mean, how are you supposed to pay loans when there are no jobs to recover the money? And given the expensive price of school fees today is unrealistic, it's kind of a trap for students that they will not be able to escape after they've graduated. So that's a good idea.
The student loan is a very good initiative to whoever brought it up, like, you know, because there are some people who can work and this opportunity is going to help them a lot. So it is a very good thing.
As Nigeria takes strides towards enhancing the access to higher quality education, the launch of the Student Loan Portal by NELFund marks a significant milestone. With the portal now live, students can now access interest-free loans, paving way for a brighter future for millions of Nigerians across the nation. Matthew Ogunswada for Voice of the People TV.
All right, that was a report from VOP TV on the student loan scheme. Moving on to more stories now. About 6 yet to be identified passengers escaped death in a multiple auto crash that happened on Wednesday opposite the Opik Estate community at the Ishere Olofun area of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The accident involved 4 vehicles, an unregistered diesel truck, a Yutong luxury bus with registration number KPP 921ZW, a Ford bus with registration number EPE 365YD, and another Ford bus with registration number KGW 13XA. According to an anonymous police source who was privy to the crash, the accident was caused by the diesel truck driver whose vehicle lost control and motion, swerved and collided with 3 vehicles in a traffic jam on the road. It was said that everyone in the vehicles escaped death, but 2 passengers were seriously injured and were rushed by Good Samaritans and operatives of the police to the Lagos State Emergency Clinic at the Old Toll Gate Ojota in Lagos, where they are receiving medical treatment. When contacted, the spokesperson for the Ogun State Police Command, Omolola Odutola, confirmed the incident and said no life was lost in the crash. She said the police officers in the area helped in rescuing the 2 injured victims who are currently responding to treatment.
The Ondo State Commander of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested Warner Abraham Achibong for allegedly having a sexual relationship with his 8-year-old daughter at the Ile Oluji community in the Ile Oluji Oke Igbo local government area of the state. According to a statement by the command's public relations officer, Adamenbo Daniel, today, Achibong was arrested alongside other suspects, Ojo Oluwashola and Agu Matthew. The statement noted that the state commandant of the corps, Ibiloye Oluyemi, had paraded the suspects at the command's headquarters in Akure, the state's capital. He added that the suspect, who has since confessed to the crime, would be prosecuted in the law court for rape, molestation, and incest.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanaya, on Thursday announced scholarships and gave various gift items to 100 orphaned girls in Niger State ahead of their mass wedding today. The mass wedding is being sponsored by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Abdulmalik Sarkindiji. The minister had kicked against the mass wedding of the young girls, saying it was a violation of the Child Rights Act. Kennedy Ohanaya, who addressed a press conference in Abuja, noted that she had petitioned the Inspector General of Police to stop the wedding, adding that she also filed a lawsuit seeking an injunction to restrain the speaker from going ahead with the mass wedding. Ahead of the mass wedding, the minister, represented by her special assistant and private sector Adaji Usman, was in Niger to announce scholarships for the girls and to also give them other items such as wrappers and foodstuffs at the palace of the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Muazu. The minister, through Usman, presented 10 points of sales machines, 100 wrappers, and 350 bags of 10-kilogram bags of rice. She also announced a scholarship to university level for any of the girls who wish to go to school. Also, the Emir of Kotangora announced the donation of a sewing machine to each of the girls. Kennedy Ohanaya also directed the bank account be opened for all the 100 intending brides, where a stipend will be sent to them for the next 6 months to enable them to settle down in their husbands' houses. She blamed the media for escalating the initial controversy surrounding the marriage of the 100 orphans, saying she did not intend to stop the marriage, but to be sure if the girls are of marriageable age and were not being forced into it. We'll go on a short break and return with business, sport, and entertainment stories. Stay with us.
Welcome back, and now to business. The African Development Bank AFDB has pledged $1.44 billion to support infrastructure development in Nigeria, focusing on energy, transport, water, and sanitation. This announcement was made by AFD President Akiumi Adesina at the Nasara Investment Summit 2024 held in Lafia. Adesina, represented by the Director General of the AFDB's Nigerian Country Department, Lamin Barrow, highlighted Nigeria's significant infrastructure deficit, which hampers the country's diversification efforts and global competitiveness. According to the National Integrated Infrastructure Master Plan, Nigeria requires $2.3 trillion in infrastructure investment between 2020 and 2043, with the energy sector needing $759 billion and the transport sector needing $575 billion.
Nigeria's gross domestic product's GDP growth slowed to 2.98% in the first quarter of 2024, down from 3.46% in the fourth quarter of 2023, as reported by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS). Despite this decline, the growth rate exceeded the 2.31% recorded in the first quarter of 2023. The services sector drove the GDP growth with a 4.32% increase, contributing 58.04% to the total GDP. The agricultural sector grew modestly by 0.18%, while the industry sector expanded by 2.19%. The oil sector saw a year-on-year growth of 5.70%, contributing 6.38% to the GDP, while the non-oil sector grew by 2.80%, driven by financial services, telecommunications, agriculture, trade, and manufacturing.
The Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, APCON, has criticized the Central Bank of Nigeria's increase in capital requirement for BDCs from 35 million naira to 2 billion naira for Tier 1 BDCs, calling it inconsistent with global standards. APCON President Aminu Gwadabe, speaking at an economic forum, argued that the new requirements are excessive compared to international benchmarks and could negatively impact the sector. He emphasized that the depreciation of the naira is not due to BDC activities but rather on earned income and corruption. Gwadabe urged the CBN to reconsider the capital requirement and expressed willingness to collaborate on policy adjustments.
The federal government of Nigeria has revoked 2,531 mineral titles over the past year due to payment defaults and inactivity. This was announced by Dr. Oladele Alake, Minister of Solid Minerals Development, during a presentation marking President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration's first anniversary. The revocation includes 1,619 titles for non-payment of annual service fees and 912 inactive titles. The ministry has implemented several measures to enhance service delivery and revenue generation, including the development of the EMC Plus software for online mineral title applications. These efforts have increased confidence in the system, resulting in 10,534 applications and generating 6.2 billion naira in revenue between May 2023 and April 2024, a 59.6% increase from the previous year.
And now to entertainment. Controversial Nigerian musician Seun Kuti has downplayed monogamy, saying it doesn't work. The Afrobeat crooner encouraged men to embrace polygamy, stressing that every man should have multiple women. Speaking on a podcast, Seun claimed that having multiple women demonstrates power and influence. He added that his late father, an Afrobeat pioneer, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, had over 100 concubines, despite marrying 27 women in one day. Seun Kuti is publicly known to be married to one woman, his wife, Yetunde Kuti.
Meanwhile, Nigerian singer Oludipe Oluwasomi David, popularly known as Spyro, has recounted his estranged Canadian lover broke up with him for pecking a female friend. The Who's Your Guy hitmaker said the heartbreak was quite painful and made him resent Canada. He recalled that he already bought an engagement ring to propose to her before the incident. He, however, said he is now healed after his pastor sent him a series of messages.
Popular comedian Ayo Mankun, also known as AY, has finally reacted to rumors that he's expecting a child with Big Brother Niger star Alex Unusual. You do recall there were rumors that Alex was pregnant with AY's child, which contributed to the crash of the actor's marriage to Mabel Mankun. In the wake of the allegations, Alex deactivated all her social media accounts and returned with an intriguing video about the widespread claims on Wednesday night. Although she did not directly address the rumors, the reality star made a compilation of some hurtful words that were said about her over AY's marriage crash. Reacting to the video, AY jokingly warned Alex not to harm his baby, which she was rumored to be carrying. He added that he was ready to entertain jobless social media users with his personal life.
Nigerian disc jockey and billionaire's daughter Florence Ifeoluwa Otedola, popularly known as DJ Cuppy, has received a prestigious invitation from the United Kingdom King Charles III. VOP-TV News understands that the British monarch invited DJ Cuppy to a reception at Buckingham Palace, which is being held to honor the King's 2024 Trust Awards. DJ Cuppy's presence at this esteemed event is undoubtedly a testament to her remarkable talent and influence in the music industry.
In our to sports, Nigeria's head coach Finidi George has selected a formidable squad of 23 players for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against South Africa's Bafana and Benin Republic's Cheetahs. Among the notable names are Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, and Stanley Nwabali, who bring a world of talent and experience to the team. With this lineup, Nigeria appears to be well prepared to tackle these important matches on the journey to the World Cup. In addition to the previously mentioned players, head coach Finidi George has also included goalkeeper Maduka Okoye, defenders Calvin Bassey and Shemi Ajayi, midfielders Wilfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, and Alassane Yusuf, as well as forwards Kelechi Iheanacho, Victor Boniface, and Terry Murphy in the squad. This diverse selection of talent further strengthens Nigeria's lineup for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. Remo Stars had as nails defender Sadiq Ishmael is called for the first time with Turkey-based Fisayo Bashiru. Bayer Leverkusen of Germany's Nathan Taylor and lanky forward Paul Onachu were also called. Nigeria will face South Africa at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo on Friday, June 7th, with kickoff scheduled for 8 p.m. Following this match, they will travel to Abidjan to take on Benin Republic at the Stade Félix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium on Monday, June 10th, with the game starting at 4 p.m. local time in Côte d'Ivoire, which is 5 p.m. Nigerian time. These back-to-back matches will be crucial for Nigerians' quest to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, and fans will be eagerly anticipating the outcomes.
Super Eagles head coach Finidi George claimed he won't be involved in the process of picking a new captain for the team. Current captain of the team, Ahmed Musa, is presently inactive and is expected to be omitted for the squad to face South Africa and Benin Republic in the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. PAOK Thessalonica of Greece defender William Troost Ekong has been the Super Eagles standing captain in Musa's absence. Finidi said it is the responsibility of the players to choose who will lead them.
The captaincy of the Super Eagles, there are things I cannot change, gentlemen. I played this game. I was also vice captain. I was not the youngest. That's the truth about it. If we want to go by oldest players in camp, I think Olise wouldn't have been a captain. That's the truth, because these Super Eagles, I started in 1989 while I was playing. So he came 93. So if you want to go by that, you hardly you wouldn't have had that opportunity to be a captain. But looking at the present squad, we have to see those that are older, those that are capable. We're not stripping captaincy from Ekong, because the report is saying that Finidi George wants to strip Ekong of the captaincy rather. I cannot do that. Ekong is our captain. Emeru also captain. Musa is captain. He is not around. Ekong is not around. So we look at those that are available in the squad and see who is oldest to wear the captain's band. And it must be an agreement between players, not me as a coach. I will decide you will be the captain. It has been done before, and everybody is trying to go back to say that was what Olise did, and Finidi George wants to do same. We are warning him now not to, not to, do same. But I will tell you, it's not my responsibility to pick captain. It's the responsibility of the team. They have to be comfortable with that person, and if they want to do it that way, they do it. If Ekong is around, Emir is around, definitely they will wear their captain's band. If these two players are not available, and definitely the players will decide who will be their captain. It's not me. My duty is to make sure that the team has a good frame of mind, good tactics to perform. Apart from that, we'll leave that to the players.
Lady George has said if players of the Super Eagles can give 100%, they wouldn't have a problem beating South Africa. Finid's first official game for the Eagles will be against South Africa's Bafana in Uyo. The Eagles hope to get their campaign back on track following disappointing draws against Lesotho and Zimbabwe.
Manchester United have intensified move to sign Fulham defender Tosin Adarabioyo this summer. Recall that Adarabioyo has become a toast of many clubs in the Premier League, such as Newcastle and Chelsea, after his impressive season with Fulham. Adarabioyo is understood to be one of the many players Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are looking at to bolster United's defensive department, a need that instantly became more urgent following Rafael Varane's confirmation that he will depart Old Trafford in the coming days. Reports reveal that the Red Devils are willing to battle for a sprint centre-half who is only 26. Given the market for defenders and the price tags on players, a free agent signing is hard to pass up.
And to wrap up the 9 p.m. news, we'll take a recap of the headlines Take a recap of the headlines. Protesters lay siege to Villa National Assembly over Sanusi's reinstatement.
Court orders interim forfeiture of 830 million naira, $4.7 million properties linked to Emefiele.
Fubra sues for peace amidst possible calls for anarchy by opposition.
Minister donates ahead mass wedding, announces scholarships.
In business, AFDB announces $1.44 billion investment from Nigeria.
Finidi unveils a Super Eagles squad for South Africa Benin Republic Games. And that's a wrap on the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I am Jerry Apelion.
I am Kayla Abraham.
Good evening.